Hi, this is Len from CoffeeRoastersClub.com, and we're here right now to demonstrate a complete roast from start to finish with the javaPRO-CRC PID, which is our top-of-the-line roaster. As you can see right now, we have it plugged in. We do have it off. We have an exhaust pipe ported into our own little chimney that we have for our downstairs heater, and we have it connected to the exhaust manifold of the roaster with a 4-inch clamp. We have our own downstairs heater, which has nothing to do with the roaster, but it is involved because the roaster is hooked up into its exhaust pipe, and we're going to be using part of the downstairs heater's draft inducer, only because the chimney that we have here is too low and doesn't really provide a proper draft in itself. So the draft inducer is not part of the roaster. The roaster has its own ventilation exhaust unit, but we do need the draft inducer because of our own circumstances here. After the roast is completed, we're going to be dumping our beans into a bean cooler and dechaffer. This particular unit is one that we produce, and it is called the javaCRC Ultra. It's our top-of-the-line cooler. It can cool and automatically dechaff 10 pounds of beans in a very short period of time. It does have an outlet, of course, because we'll be cooling the beans. The outlet is going to be piped into the back end of our stove, which is our heater that's turned off right now. The heater's not running, but we have this piped in here because the beans, after they're roasted, do still produce a little bit of smoke, and we want to make sure that we don't fill the downstairs with smoke from the cooling process of the beans. Okay, why don't we go over and get our drum. And again, this drum holds 5 pounds of coffee beans. We already have 5 pounds pre-measured, and we're going to be roasting a Kenya AA single origin. We're going to fill up the drum with 5 pounds of beans. A little bit left in the bowl, so I'll just dump them in like that. Okay, after everything's all in there, we gotta line up this cap and just put the post, as you can see, into the post holder. Now we just get the drum and get the little spring here and pull it down tight and put it into one of the holes that are perforated in the side of the drum. The drum is 100% stainless steel. The end caps are 16 gauge aluminum. And the fin work inside is 100% stainless steel. All the rivets are stainless steel. Okay, now we go over to the roaster, open up the door. You want to have a better table than what we have, but we're down in our workshop, and so we got to make the best do what we have. Okay, now the side of the drum that doesn't have the post, that is the side of the drum that will be interlocking into a special coupler mechanism. This side of the drum with the post that's sticking out, and the hole that's in there, a little hole for the thermocouple, that goes into the bearing setup that we have right there. Flange setup, excuse me. High temperature flange. We have it set like that. We just get it in here, give it a good little push, and there's a post, the post from the motor. We'll center it. I can't see too well. There we go. There. And you just want to turn it a little bit so that the little posts that are sticking out there will interlock into the roaster, and you'll know when it's interlocked when you can't move it anymore like that. Totally interlocked. Okay. Let's pull the door up. Want to get the side spring holders onto the door. Keep the door closed. Just like that. Okay, now we got 5 pounds of beans inside the drum. Everything is turned off. Now we want to get the thermocouple probe, which is this. I want to make sure it's all together as such. I want to make sure that if there's any loops in it from the cord itself, that we can take care of that right now. Plenty of length. Okay, that's fine. Even though it's a little. Well, let's see if we can get that a little better. There, that's okay. Now I just want to get that. I'm going to put it to the hole. There's 2 holes. There's a hole right there. And there's a hole above it. You want the hole this on the bottom. And you want to go into here. You want to make sure that it gets inserted right into the drum. There's a little bit of a spring mechanism that's part of the hole. It's like a little cage to make sure any little beans don't fall out when it's roasting because of that hole that's in the drum. And then after that, you want to clip in the little spring to the top, hook into the top hole to stop the probe from coming out while you're roasting. Okay, now, again, important safety precautions. Always have a fire extinguisher handy in case there's any issues, which I hope there won't be, and there shouldn't be, but you never know. You should always be prepared. Always roast in a well-ventilated environment, and I consider this area to be well-ventilated. And have your heat-proof gloves available. And I just have to find mine. See, always be prepared. There we go. I got my heat-proof UGG gloves. Yeah, I got my heat-proof UGG gloves, and they're good for a very high temperature. You can get them over at Sears Roebuck, or you can get them online. Many places have them. Okay. I'm going to go over here to the roaster. First thing we do, well, make sure it's plugged in, of course, but flip up the master switch. When you flip up the master switch, an interior ventilation fan for the PID unit and motor housing turns on. And the interior light of the roaster turns on. Next thing we want to do is we want to turn our drum on. To turn the drum on, we first have to flip up the main switch and then hit a motor start button. This is because this type of motor that this system uses has a starter capacitor. If you have to turn off the motor for any reason, you can just flip this switch down, the motor main switch down. Or if you want to turn off the whole roaster for any reason, you just flip the master switch down like that and turn the roaster off. Okay, let's get that drum spinning. What you do is you flip up this, hear a little hum, press that little start switch. There you go. It's turning. The probe is inside the bean mixture, measuring bean mass temperature. Now you want to turn the PID on. Flip it up. Turns it on. We have it on stop, as you can see. What you want to do is you want to raise that temperature a bit. So what I'm going to do is I want it at 500. You can move the decimal places around if you want. You do timings and all that kind of stuff. And it has all kinds of different, T4. These are all the different steps you can do. You can do up to 30 if you wanted. All kinds of stuff. It's really... Just to give you a little bit of a rundown. Look at that. You get up to 30 if you wanted. And you get back to stop again. And I got it on run. It's running right now. I had the temperature set for 501 degrees. So basically, it's an automatic thermostat. There. I have it on hold. Just hold 500. Basically what I did was I turned it into a manual function by setting it like that. We're not doing any kind of a complicated roast here. I just want to do a nice single origin roast with no profiling. So I set it for 500 degrees and we'll sit back and see how this roast goes. Hi. We're about 2 minutes into the roast now, and as you can see, some of the chaff is starting to fall off the drum. Fall off the beans. We're almost at 200 degrees internal bean mass temperature, and I would say that shortly we'll be turning on the exhaust fan. I don't see any evidence of smoke yet in the roaster. You can smell the roasting process, though, definitely at this point. So let me see. It's easy to see the smoke because you'll see it accumulate next to the lamp. As you can see right now, I don't see any smoke yet. Just for our own safety precautions, we have a carbon monoxide detector that we have over our heater and stove, and that reads 0. So we're at 204 degrees, as you can see. Internal bean mass temperature. The 500 here is a setting that I wouldn't say randomly set, but I set it as a temperature that I want to have way up there. Okay, and we'll come back shortly and show you the process of turning on the exhaust fan once the smoke starts becoming visible. Okay, we'll see you then. Hi, this is Len again here at Coffee Roasters Club. We're seeing a little bit of evidence of smoke right now. I don't know if you can see it. It's starting to come up a little bit around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to turn on the exhaust fan. Just clean it up over here. So the exhaust is going to come up all over there. Okay, so the exhaust fan's on now, and just wanted to show you that. We'll show you again some more later. Okay.
Okay.
We get about to the point where it's starting to really kick up a roast. There's a lot of smoke inside the roaster right now. Really dropping a lot of chaff now. Starting right in the middle of the first crack right now. We're going to be taking out the beans right now. And we turned off the PID. Preparing ourselves to dump the beans into here. Be a big put on the vacuum. Turn off. Turn on. Turn on. Well, maybe you can see me. Okay, we're all done roasting now. There's my assistant. Here's our other assistant. And he's a troublemaker.
He's the office manager. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's the office manager. He's the CEO. Angus? Ooh. This is the workshop where it all happens. Can you believe it? Here's the drill press. At any rate, let's get over to the beans we just roasted. Here's the canyon. Came out nice. Let's get a flashlight on those beans. I'm holding the camera now, so bear with me. There we go. As you can see, they're nice. Very, very, very even roast. I'd say about a full city. See all the chaff inside the roaster? Make sure that you vacuum out the roaster after each use. Make sure that you vacuum out the drum. Here's the drum. Make sure you vacuum out the drum after each use. Not vacuum out the drum, excuse me. I mean, if you see stuff in it, you know, just give it a couple wraps with your hand, making sure that it's cooled down. And you're good again for another roast. So, here's a few beans. So right now, this is our gasifier. We get a lot of cardboard because of all the supplies we purchase. It's quite an apparatus, isn't it? This thing converts the cardboard into burnable gases. It burns the gases with air injection. You can see the outlets right through here. That's a heat extractor. This long tube, another heat extractor. You can see the funnels going into the tube, the tubes going into, the silver tubes going into that heat extractor. That's air. That's being supplied by this air unit right here. So this thing extracts massive amounts of heat from just junk cardboard that we shred up, paper we shred up, anything. Converts it into heat, heats to downstairs. At any rate, we'll get away from that. And there's the roaster again. And for me, and Cara and I from Coffee Roasters Club, we wish you a good day. Thank you.